Hosted by you/just_brilliant23. The devil's work is almost done. I'm not really sure what I am looking for in posting this. Tomorrow is my mediation day and I'm a little numb and restless. I, 43M, have been married to my STBWX, 41F, for 19 years, together 25 years. We met in high school. I found out in October, the day before our 19th anniversary. She had at least an EA, but I also believe she also had a PA, but she would not admit it with the current guy. She said they only kissed. Yeah, right. She told me she loved him, he is married with 2 kids, and then she said I love you but I am not in love with you. But on the same day she admitted to a PA with a different man 12 years ago. The basics to the story is she pretended to try and work it out and eventually asked for a divorce. It's so much more messy than this, and I may tell the whole story someday. I just don't have the energy tonight. She moved out in January and my girls, 10 yo and 15 yo, have lived with her at her parents' house, and my son, 16 yo, lives with me. I see my girls often and try to talk to them every day. My son has become so much closer to me. I love them all so much and I hate that this has happened to them as well. Maybe I'm looking for encouraging words. Wisdom. I have prayed a lot about this, and then again maybe not enough. I know she has at least told her family lies about me, but they also know some of the truth. It's weird to be a part of a family and then all of a sudden you are a stranger. Here is something I wrote to her last night, but I won't send it because I know it would mean nothing to her. The devil's work is almost done. I'm mad/sad that all 3 of our kids are in therapy. I'm mad/sad that you are the other woman. You have destroyed more than our marriage. Our kids are forever changed because of your actions. I worry how this will affect their future relationships. You have destroyed other families and that makes me sick. How and why would you choose to be the other woman? It's disgusting and I know you know it is wrong. You are one of the most selfish people I know. You didn't just make a one-time mistake. You choose to do this over and over and ever. After being confronted you choose evil. That relationship is from the devil. This could hurt your soul. You will never be able to be in a relationship where you are not an adulteress. As far as I know you are still with your affair partner. You both have started a relationship built on a lie. One of you will cheat on the other, and if not, I'm sure it will be miserable if you have a conscience. I know for a fact that he has already questioned what he has done and tried to go back to his wife. But I say to you that everyone who divorces his wife, except on the ground of sexual immorality, makes her commit adultery, and whoever marries a divorced woman commits adultery. Matthew 5:32. He said to them, because of your hardness of heart Moses allowed you to divorce your wives, but from the beginning it was not so. And I say to you, whoever divorces his wife, except for sexual immorality, and marries another, commits adultery. Matthew 19:8-9. You lied for so long it is hard to tell what was ever true. Is this who you were along and I didn't know it, or did you change? I do believe you did me a favor forcing the divorce. You made the statement that maybe you don't deserve me. Maybe that is true, but if you didn't force this I would have kept trying to love you and save our marriage. How do you not feel remorse or shame or guilt? How do you sleep at night knowing what evil you have done? You said at one point you were praying and talking to God, but if there is no change, is there really any sorrow or repentance? I know that is between you and God, but it is one more thing I don't understand. How do you sit in church and not feel guilt or shame? How did you sit with me and our family and not feel shame and guilt? You are not too far gone, you can still be saved. I don't mean we can have a relationship, especially now, but you can repent and return to God. I believe that would mean putting away that selfish person you have become. I have said in the past you are a good mother. I believe I lied to you. A good mother would not have done this to her family. You are a selfish person who just loves herself. Maybe you care about the children, but because of how it makes you look to the world. I know how much you care about your image. As for me, I have tried hating you, but it does no good. I really could have come after you. I mean your career. You always cared about that more. But I decided that time will take care of everything. I don't need to hurt you because you are broken. I'm sure there has to be a lot of pain to do the things you have done. In some ways I pity you. I'm saying my last goodbyes and releasing you. Update: one crazy day, but the divorce is final. Last week my ex-wife, her dad showed up too, and I worked out a settlement agreement in mediation. It took all day but we got it done. Basically, since we all agreed it's over. Only one party has to prove it up to the judge. I was nice that day and let the girls stay with her because she had family that came in town. We switched days, trying to extend the olive branch. I believe she has messaged me every day since then for some reason. I ignored most of it because it wasn't about the kids. Thursday night my mom took a fall and broke her hip and leg. My poor mom is a saint too. She has dedicated her life to her family and especially my older sister who is mentally handicapped. Friday was prove-up day and I have more than the divorce on my mind. It goes quickly with me and my lawyer as the only ones to attend. Remember, we have already agreed on everything, so this is basic info for the courts to accept what everyone has signed and agreed. I got my girls because this is my day I get back for last week's exchange date. My ex-wife is messaging me about something and I replied in a snarky way, congratulations on getting the divorce you wanted. She cheated on me. She messaged back and said she hasn't seen any paperwork, so hold off. I told her I went before the judge today, so as of June 11, 2021 we are divorced. Her messaging stops. I don't know why, because I thought she would be happy because this is what she wanted. I go to cook dinner with my middle child and I get a call from my ex-father-in-law asking me to come out and talk to him. We haven't spoken in weeks. I see him at my kids' games and when I pick up and drop off the kids, but we don't speak. He just stares at me. I just assume he has been lied to and is going to believe whatever his daughter tells him. I got my old phone and turned the recorder on because this isn't normal. I walked out and he is sitting in my driveway in his truck. I walked around to the driver's side and he doesn't get out, he just has his window rolled down. He said, "How do you go before the judge without her?" I said, "David, this isn't about you. He was there last week under my protest too. I didn't marry you and I'm not divorcing you, so I'm not having this conversation with you." I should have gone inside at this point. If she wants to talk, I'll do it with her, but stay out of this. He said, "You will tell me." I pointed my finger at him to make my point that much cleaner and he swatted at me and he said, "Don't you point at me. It's my house and I'll point wherever I want." I know this is a dumb argument. I told him his daughter is an adulterous woman who has been sleeping with a married man. He called me a liar. I said she has slept with more than one married man and destroyed families. He acted surprised at first and then asked how would I know. I said I've seen the bills and records. Plus I talked to the cheater's ex-wife. He goes to the point that he doesn't care about the cheating. Says I spent all the money. She got thousands of dollars just today. And he would have cheated too if he had to live with me. He said he knows everything. I said I guess not if you don't know about her having affairs with married men. His other 2 daughters have done the same. I asked how it felt raising 3 adulteress. That his enabling is part of the problem. What would his own dad think? His dad was a very righteous man. He raised *beep. Okay, I was really mad, but maybe I crossed a line. He reaches out and punched me in the arm. I defend myself and hit back. I tell him to stop. I don't want to fight this old man. He starts yelling about the judge again. I explained the process and he is still mad, saying their attorney didn't tell them anything. Not my fault. He starts saying I'm crazy and my son, his grandson, will be just like me. I said he will be a good man and I hope he doesn't marry *beep. He backs out and keeps saying this isn't over. He revs his engine and I think he is about to run over me. I move near our solid in-ground basketball goal. I don't know how much this will stop, but it's all I had. Thank goodness he finally leaves. I called the cops and they take a report, but I decided not to press charges right now. I have 2 years to act on it. The police went and spoke to my ex and her sister. She is crazy too. She could be her own post. Her dad happened to not be home at the time. The sister actually came to my house while I was talking to the police. I finally came back inside and my girls are waiting on me. I had to fill them in a little because I believe one of them saw the police. It was almost 10, so they decided to go to bed. Kinda sad way to end the day. Gave hugs and told them I love them and I will keep them safe. I'm not sure what "this is not over" really means, but I guess he, ex-father-in-law, has something planned. Who knows what he is thinking. Hope this craziness made sense. I'll keep hoping things will get better from here. Update 2: if you didn't read my last post, the basics are my mom fell and broke her left leg and hip Thursday night. She had surgery Friday morning. While she was in surgery, I went before the judge to prove up my mediation to make my divorce final. There is one more piece of paperwork that needs to be turned in. My ex and I were messaging about the house Friday afternoon because we are selling it and I made a snarky comment about being divorced and she acted like she didn't know anything. She fired her attorney that day and left a message with my attorney. Within 5 minutes of the call, her dad was at my house causing trouble and the cops got called. Saturday I took my middle child to her basketball tournament. My ex messaged saying she was coming to pick up a few personal things from the house. She still had clothes here, so that is what I thought she was taking, and it's my fault for thinking instead of asking. While I am at my daughter's basketball game, I get a call my mother had a stroke and she was being life flight to a bigger hospital that can help. I get home to find the house gutted. She took a lot. Part of the agreement was everything stays till the house until it's sold. She may be mad because she had told her AP that she was getting everything she wanted back in November, which included the house and kids. She didn't get the house and my son is living with me. I see my girls almost every day too. I don't think she read or apparently didn't understand what we agreed to the week before, or maybe like our marriage she doesn't care. I was so worried about my mom I didn't care at the moment what was going on with the house and took off to be with her. My mom has been in the ICU until today. She is doing better but has a long way to go. My ex did call on Monday to ask about my mom. Or maybe she was fishing if I'm going after her dad for assault. She tried to explain that her dad was with her when she found out the divorce was final and she was upset she didn't get to go before the judge too. She said I would do the same for my girls. She also insisted she didn't know why her left and it wasn't until it was over that he came to my house. She said she fired her attorney because she wanted changes made to our mediation settlement. It says at least 3 times that this agreement is final. The mediator and my attorney told me the same thing. The message she left for my attorney was she wanted 30 to see what her options are, but she is not in a hurry to do anything because I have so much going on with my mother. I messaged my attorney and told her I don't trust her at all and get that last bit of paperwork finished. She did it yesterday, so we will see. My attorney and my brother, who is also an attorney, said my ex can't do anything, that it's done. I really don't know what the big deal is because she wanted the divorce and she has an AP. Let's end this and let me go. I made it home last night and was trying to figure out what all got taken. Some things we were supposed to split, and you can guess how that worked out for me because I was not here. One thing is a little puzzling is why took all the Bibles. We had a collection of them. She doesn't obviously care what is written in the Bible, so why take them? I'm sure she has justified her actions, but that doesn't make it right with God. I sometimes want to message and ask/tell her some of these things. But I know I'm wasting my breath. I believe she is with AP this week, and now that we divorced I need to let it go. I sometimes shake when I think about them together. I did it tonight and my middle child saw it and was really worried about me. It's not good. I hope I never meet him because I don't know if I can keep myself from going after him. I know it's her too, but I may have to leave if he comes around at some point. I'm starting IC again soon and I know I need it. Anyway, thanks for the prayers for mom. I know many of you are going through tough times with your spouse or ex. I wish you all the best and peace. Update 3: the last boxes are packed. I'm moving on. It's been a little bit since my last update and things have settled down since the divorce is final now. It's been 6 weeks since the divorce was final. For some reason she was mad about our mediation and tried to come back for more, but thank goodness I had a good family law attorney to shut that down. She fired her attorney after everything was done, so that's kinda funny. I thought everything was fair, but maybe that's why she was mad. I forced the sale of our house. The home was already destroyed, and she was mad about that too. Back in November she told her AP that she was getting everything, which included the house and kids. I offered her to buy me out, but she wanted to give me no equity. I'm glad it went down this way because coming to my old house to get my kids while another man's truck is in my driveway would have sucked. I actually had to deal with that last night as I dropped her last items off. I didn't see her, but it still kinda hurt. My son also chose to live with me, so that's awesome. My relationship with him has gotten so much closer. My daughters will be fine, but I worry what lies have been told to them and what they actually believe. I really can't worry too much about that because I have no control over it. I have gone on a few dates, but I realize I'm not ready for that, so I'm going to just keep working on myself. I set a goal last August to run 500 miles and I have about 50 to go. I have also found a new church home, and that's great. Without God, family, and friends, I'm not sure where I would be. I thank a lot of you in this community too. Coming here has helped a lot with my decision-making process as well. So thank you all for reading and responding. I wish you all the best too. Today is kinda bittersweet. The house sells tomorrow and I feel like it's the last page of this chapter of my life. After we close on the house this week I can start focusing on the future. Thanks again to all of you. Posted by you/Edra5619. Found out my wife is cheating. Confronted her. No, she says it was just sexting/online, but advice. I found that my wife is cheating with a high school friend she reconnected with a couple weeks ago. I have the full log of text messages between them in all its sordid detail. In these messages it appears clear that they hooked up at least 3 times. Not only that, but she is bragging about having sex with this guy to 2 of her friends. I confronted her and she breaks down crying and starts telling me that it was just an online-only fantasy. She tells me that I drove her to this because I didn't give her enough attention and that she was desperate. It's true, we haven't had sex very frequently lately because I have a relatively low libido to begin with. I am full of resentment at the fact that I do 90% of the housework and child care, and the fact that I haven't slept in the bed for a couple of years because she likes to co-sleep with the kids. I guess I am culpable. Apparently I made her do this. She also says she stuck with me through all the things I have done in the past. I was not very good with money for a while and overspent forcing her to borrow money from her dad. I had a brief period where I questioned my sexuality, bisexual, and I have been a frequent user of porn. Are these things equivalently odious? Should I allow myself to be guilted into staying in this marriage like this? Anyway, through all this I have no photos of them together, so I guess I can't definitively prove anything. Yet the texts appear to be clear what happened despite her insistence that they are just fantasies. I start to relent, and give her what she wants. I suggest maybe we need to see someone to help sort through these problems. We did counseling in the past, but I am not a very emotionally open guy and had a hard time talking, but she also resisted the counselor whenever he pushed back against her. She wanted him to fix me and didn't take kindly to being told that she might have a role to play in our difficulties too. So after we conclude this discussion, with her steamrolling me, and offering to let me text her AP and friend for more info, I come to find out later from her text messages that she was texting both her AP and one of her friends to see if they would cover for her and tell me it was fantasy only. LOL. I printed every text message she sent him. Why would she use text to contact someone to arrange cover? Good grief. I haven't confronted her yet about this, but it sure doesn't bode well for any reconciliation. We tried to have some make-up sex after, but before I read her attempts at covering things up, but I had a hard time maintaining an erection and couldn't finish because I kept thinking about the things said in the messages. I don't know about reconciliation. I was all set to leave her and then the crocodile tears got to me. But this new revelation of cover stories opens it all up. Again. I don't know what to do anymore. She makes more than I do. We have a house, kids, etc. And being a very involved parent, I need to have my kids at least 50/50ths. I am afraid that my low-paying job will hinder that as a possibility. Update to my post a week ago about finding wife's texts while on our family vacation story, so I deleted my last post because I was overwhelmed with all of the responses, chat requests, messages, etc. All I have wanted to do for the last week is dig a hole and hide in it. We spoke that night again and I threatened the D word unless she spilled her heart out and told me everything. She continued to deny and say it was just flirty texts, nothing more, nothing physical. She swore to me she was being honest. My gut knew she was lying, so I started snooping on her this last week, going through her entire Google account for location pings, search history, etc. I installed recovery software on the computer and hooked her phone to it last night. You guys were right. I should have just cut ties and moved on and not worried about finding more evidence. The shit I found last night made me sick to my stomach. We're talking multiple guys, multiple visits to their homes, and even a little rendezvous in the work parking lot. Anything I can imagine happened. Anyways, I woke her up and huge blow-up fight. I told her to pack up and leave. I told her parents and sister. I told my family. I told the other man's wife. Anyways, it's over now. Seeing a lawyer Monday. Sorry if I don't respond much, I'm just going to try to clear my head and start thinking about what's next for me and my kids. Thanks for all the advice all. Posted by you/GA1 Actos ex-fiancé cheated on me. My D-Day was 8 days after I broke up with her. Recovery: we broke up early April. The months leading up to it, I can see now, were wrought with signs of her emotionally cheating. She had a work-from-home job and could choose her hours. She chose to work only when I was awake at home. She made so much time for him. She had been interrupting my sleep daily for months too, full on disregarding my existence with no remorse. It's so difficult to move on. When we broke up, I broke up because of the abuse. But I looked through a portion of her messages to him 8 days after the relationship ended. I found the extent of what she did. How far back it went. Anyone reading this, don't try to find the answers. Don't look, or wonder, or feed your curiosity. I'm so torn apart even now 4 months later. How she manipulated not just me, but the other man too. Things got so bad for me. How she viciously attacked my core values, saying that I cared too much. How she lied to him saying I was always angry towards her. How I wished that was true. I'm doing marginally better now. Going to therapy. I'm glad I can see others doing well after similar experiences. But it's still such a struggle. How does one challenge those negative thoughts and feelings when they come up? For example, what phrases can I use to challenge these thoughts? To interrupt the cycle of negativity that continues in my mind. Posted by you/throwers/gf mad that I don't trust her anymore after she cheated, so there is a huge story behind this one, but I keep it as short as possible so I can tell the problem at hand. My GF cheated on me a month and a half ago. At that moment she was with a guy and I didn't believe she was alone, so I asked for a picture. She asked her mom to send a picture of where she claimed she was to send it to me. This all fell out from under her and she admitted to, at least she says so, everything after a lot of pushing and her making up lies after lies to protect the lies that fell out from under her. I eventually decided to break up with her, but she wouldn't let me and kept sending messages of how she was sorry, etc. After a week of this I finally gave in but said that I couldn't ever trust again after this, and to gain my trust she would share location and send pics. Keep in mind that this was her idea and not mine. So today she was at home, where the cheating originally happened, and said she was just about to eat. She was silent the whole day via text in comparison to other days where she continuously texted me. Me not trusting her asked for a pic and she got really defensive about it. This made me even more anxious. She eventually called me crying after telling she had beef with her family, providing screenshots of how her whole family was talking shit about me, telling her that if I am so mad that she cheated I should turn my attention to the guy instead of her. I don't even know what to do because I just want to break up and find a trustworthy partner, but she won't let me. Any advice? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and also subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the notification bell as well.